Thank you for tuning in. This is the Double RT Boxing Show, the Ready Talk Boxing Show, and you have tuned in into a post-fight reaction segment. Thank you for your time and support. All boxing junkies are welcome to the boxing rehab known as the Double RT Boxing Show. I'm your host, Mr.A. Whatever your boxing fix is, whatever type of junkie you are, uppercuts, jabs, middleweights, bantamweights, heavyweights, movers, huggers, jab and grabs. We talk that talk right here on the Ready Talk Boxing Show. Again, post-fight reaction. We are talking, some say upset. I just say a regular old victory for Luke Keeler. That is who we picked on the prediction. We picked Luke Keeler to defeat Mr. Arias. Now, the fight itself, we talked about it. Was this a shit fight? I consider this to be a really good domestic showdown. Like, Mr. Arias is a domestic states fighter. Luke Keeler is a domestic Ireland fighters, over there. So it was a nice international domestic level fight. And from the get-go, from the very first bell, you saw that. You saw this was a nice, even fight. Now, I don't think anyone expected Keeler to get a first-round knockdown or to win how large he did win. I had the fight 96-90. Referee Steve Gray had it 95-91, I believe it was the score. I think it was a 5-point swing. Now, what we discussed in the breakdown, the review of this fight was Mr. Arias was going to come in, hard swinging. And the reason why I picked Luke was I felt he had better legs. I felt he had better legs, and he'll be able to, I guess you could say, swing off the ropes, exit to a side when Mr. Arias would trap him. And I felt that was the best and only chance for Mr. Arias to win this fight, was to constantly have Luke on the ropes and let those bombs swing. And you can see he tried that a few times. It was successful. Not much was happening for Mr. Arias in the center of the ring. Luke Keeler showed well, I don't want to overemphasize the word great, but let's say he showed good back foot boxing on the back foot, just moving back, throwing out some counter jabs, the counter ones, maybe a 1-2, the right hand. He had a nice one-punch answer for every time he made Luis miss. He made him pay. And about halfway through the fight, definitely, because what was the Mr. Arias' hottest round was round 5. He definitely won that round, but after that, it was all downhill from there. I don't know how much gas he put out on that in that round 5 to win it. And with the first round knockdown, it was a 10-8. But I gave Mr. Arias 2, 3, and 5. Like I said, after round 5, it was just all downhill. Round 5, we saw the fight get even as far as a 2-point round swing go, because the first round was a knockdown for Luke. Then with the point deduction for hitting on the break by Luke, gave Luis that 10-8 round right back. So going into the set at the end of the 6th round, it was a 56-56 tie on my scorecard, with Luke winning the next round. And like I said, 6 and on, Luke took control, back foot boxing, picking him off with counters. Luis seemed to gas out. Was it poor conditioning in training camp? Was it just the back of the head rabbit punching? Luis did turn his head a lot. Luke is a very borderline roughhouser boxer. He'll hit you where his hands land. And then you also saw one of Luis Arias' biggest flaws. The guy doesn't change his speed. Every punch is thrown hard. And when you're throwing hard and missing a lot like Luis Arias was, you get tired. And when you're having a counter puncher who's feeling the home crowd adrenaline, he's fucking on fire. And that's what it was. I thought he gassed out from swinging hard, consistently missing, and Luke Keeler made him miss and made him pay. Not too often. You see a lot of times fighters make their opponents miss, but don't make them pay. Luke made him pay. Now, the WBO European 160 champion, he was number 6 by the WBO. Number 8 was Luis Arias in the WBC. This was his chance, Luis, to be a big, like I said, Jamar Charlo's desperate for an opponent. Luis Arias could have just landed a fortune cookie shot, could have like, hey, you're a name, you're known, we're Daniel Jacobs. But that opportunity was blown. Like I said, this fight was not close. Halfway point in a 10-rounder, it just completely changed. Clean shots, ring generalship, defense, it all went to Luke Keeler. He scored a 9th round second knockdown. You could say it was questionable because he definitely did slip. Luis did. Luke Keeler was backing himself into Luis's corner, and as Luis was walking towards him, his inner foot slips in a wet spot, but he does get tagged with the right hand. Which came first, who knows? But Steve Gray thought it was enough simultaneously time to call it a knockdown. That was knockdown number 2. And by that point, at the end of that round, I had it 86-81. Now, in round, the round 8, the fight got a little closer because Luke got a point deducted for hitting on the break. Luis Arias did. He got deducted a point for hitting on the break. So that made the fight even more wide for Luke Keeler to get that victory. I said closer, excuse me. It was actually the opposite. And around that, Luke was already winning. And then the punch deduction, it just put Luis in a bad predicament. Already throwing hard shots and missing. It put him behind the 8 ball where he needed a knockout. Forced to throw more hard shots. Missing again. A big opportunity for Luis Arias. Now, he is definitely on that rebuild stage. Is he a journeyman? Is he a gatekeeper for the 160 for the up-and-coming prospects? I know... I'm trying to think who is a nice 160 young prospect. Arias Lubin's at 154, but that type of fighter, who needs that brisk, that on the brisk of a cup, like, is he good enough? Like maybe last year how Eric Lubin was, but I can't think of a 160 fighter who's young and on the rise. But that's where Luis Arias might be now. Congratulations to the WBO Euro 160 champion, the middleweight champion, Luke Keeler. Let's see what big opportunity this lands him. Will he get on the States card? Will he stay in Matchroom? Will he stay on the ESPN? See if they bring him over and put him on the ESPN Plus and a state card, on a top ranked card. See if he could get on one of these, maybe a Shakur Stevenson card. See if him and MTK and Queensberry, see if they can all work a deal with Top Rank, somehow get Luke Keeler a match. But it was a good showcasing, a great, I overused the word great, but it was a very good fight between two on paper evenly matched domestic level fighters. And Luke Keeler showed why he deserves a regional WBO title. Thank you for your time and support. This is Mr. A, the host of the Ready Talk Boxing Show. See you on the next one.